What's up, you damn gorgeous and beautiful gamers? Welcome back to Role-Playing Games. This is Mariel Konna in the internet, where we like to discuss about RPGs. If you like the content, if you like to have these conversations with Mariel James, I would very much like to invite you, like always, to hit the like button because it really helps me, like you have no idea. Most of the people that watch my content are not subscribed to my channel, so what are you waiting for? And that being said, let's get right into it with this build, which is based on the Foray skill. It is a poison build that is going to be leveraging Foray. Now, that being said, this is not the highest damaging possible build, but it's a fun build nonetheless to try out if you are fighting against poison weakness enemies, poison weak enemies. So this is indeed a poison build. Foray takes advantage of poison, and it's going to work mostly with weapons that afflict enemy elements quite fast. So the Longsword enters this category with the new skills that we have for it. It could also be dual blades, it could also be sword and shield, S&S, so yeah, we're going to be talking about that. Anyways, that being said, first let's go through the skills that we have on the gear. So let me see. There we go, that's better. We have a critical eye, level 7. We have a poison attack, level 3. We have protective polish, level 3. Quick sheath, level 3. Stun resistance, level 3. Speed sharpening, level 3. Foray, level 3. Weakness exploit, level 2. Critical boost, level 1. Handicraft, level 1. Those are going to be the skills that are going to be mostly being used for the build. We can swap some of these skills. We can actually make some changes, change some pieces of gear to actually make this thing more viable, or to touch it up to your personal preference. But as for now, the gear that we have is the Wyvern Blade Jade Plus, the Kaiser Crown X, the Alelucan Thorax X, Espina's Vambraces, Scholarly Sash, Espina's Heel, Hunting Petal, that's not important, sorry, and a Divine Talisman with at least one level skill of Foray. I got lucky and this one actually had quite some nice decoration slots, but what you're going to want to focus yourself with this talisman is just to have Foray, because I wanted to change the skills that I have for my equipment, although do have in mind that if you actually decide to use the Espina's armor set, it's actually going to be nice. I mean, it's not going to change that much. You do have a level 4 decoration jewel, Foray, and part breaker, although do have in mind that you would have to be placing that critical eye decoration slot right here in order to make this thing viable. Enough of that. That being said, now let's speak a little bit about the, although do have in mind as well that we have a Dawar jewel, a rampage slot, as you can see right here. We have a Dawar soul jewel, which is going to gradually increase affinity by continuously landing hits on foes in a short space of time. So let us discuss about the things that we have right here and why do we have them set up like that. We have a 1 level of handicraft to be able to achieve a purple level on our weapon, which is the Wyvern Blade Jade Plus. As you can see right here, this was a base wide sharpening level, but if we actually do place that handicraft jewel, we get that extra level on purple. Do have in mind as well that for the skills we have a protective polish level 3. You're going to be using this quite a lot. As soon as you start the fight, you even if you haven't lost any kind of sharpness on your weapon, wide level of sharpness is not that bad, but ideally what we want to do is keep that purple bar as much as possible. So we're going to have 90 seconds for that, and then there's really not that much of an issue to lose it because we only have to grind one time. So yeah, you're going to be grinding quite a lot of times, but it's not going to be an issue because we have to grind our weapon just once. Weakness exploit, you will notice that we have it on level 2, and that is for one very specific reason. For our weapon, our main stats, we have 40% affinity. Weakness exploit is going to give us an extra 30% affinity, which means that we have 70% affinity. But Foray is going to activate as soon as the enemy is poisoned, which is going to give us attack power of 15 and also affinity by 20%. So ideally it's going to be 90% affinity. We're also going to be having our, let me see right here, we have our Daura Soul Jewel, which is going to give us affinity by continuously landing hits on foes in a short space of time. So if you actually decide to attack, if you decide to be aggressive, you're getting that extra affinity from the Kushala. Also, you have 30% extra affinity from our Palico, our fighter Palico. So you should be having that guy with you at all times as well. So as you can see, it does not matter what kind of part of the monster you're going to be hitting, you're always going to have affinity, you're always going to be landing critical hits, which is why we decided in this case scenario to use this specific weapon, and that this is like the kind of weapons that you should be choosing. So for the longsword we have two choices. We have the Wyvern Blade Jade Plus and we have the Rosenhimmel. The Rosenhimmel is going to give you 20% extra affinity, but it's going to be lacking in every single other department. Alright, so we do have a negative affinity, well, not a negative affinity, we have 0% affinity. This one has more purple sharpness, so you would, in this case scenario that you decide to use the Rosenhimmel, you don't actually have to use that extra level of handicraft, and you don't actually have to use one extra weakness exploit duel. So this one has 10% more raw damage, it has more poison, which is necessary. You need to have a lot of poison for this thing to maintain that extra 20% affinity and 15 attack boost. We also have the rampage slot level 3 with this one. This one is not going to have it. This one also has a level 2 decoration slot and a level 1 decoration slot. This one only has one decoration slot. So I do not think that this thing, it looks better, it looks amazing, I'm not gonna lie. It really looks goddamn amazing, but just for the base build it's not going to work. So what can we do to make this thing viable? So we do have that extra %20 affinity, so we can take away that weakness exploit, one level of weakness exploit, and we also have that purple base sharpness, so we can take away the handicraft jewel to place Wirebug Whisper, which we do not have. And in the case that you decide to do so, you would be able to reach that level 3 decoration slot for the Wirebug, because we do have a level 4 decoration slot, which is going to give us 2, and then you can just place a level 1, which is going to be 3. It is going to give you more Wirebug managing that right now we are not able to achieve, but if you do want it, you would have to swap the weapon, which it wouldn't change your sharpening bar that much, it wouldn't change your affinity that much. You would be losing that extra affinity from the Daura Jewel, and yeah, I mean, it's something that you could do, but right now I do believe that this is the best choice. Considering other choices for weapons, it would be nice to consider. This one's right here. We have the best poison trees is the Puke tree and the SNS Sword and Shield and the Rathian tree. Now, the one that I would like to use right here is the Puke, simply because of the rampage slot. And also, it has more poison. Not much, but it does has more poison. You wouldn't need to use that handicraft jewel as well with this one, so you could place the Wirebug Whisper because it has it natively. Also, this one has that Daura Soul jewel decoration slot in a level 3 and a level 2 decoration slot. So you would be able, this would be ideal. Like, this would be your go-to to completely be able to use this build at its maximum potential, because with this weapon you would be able to have level 3 decoration slots for Wirebug Whisper. With that being said, what kind of decorations do we have? We have, hold on a little moment, we have Tenderizer level 2, a Steadfast Jewel level 1, a Daura Soul Jewel level 3, Steadfast Soul Jewels level 1, a Grinder Jewel, 3 Grinder Jewels, Tenderizer, Handicraft, Sharp Jewel. We have one spare slot right here, and an Expert Jewel level 2. We have 3 spare decoration slots, level 1 decoration slots, so those are comfort skills that you could place whatever you would like to place. If you're fighting against a specific boss that has some elemental damage, then you could place some elemental damage resistance as well as defense. That is up to your personal preference. But just to wrap up, this is the weapon that I am using. But the best possible weapon that you could be using with this build would be the Puke 3, because you would be able to remove that handicraft jewel decoration slot. It's also going to give you one extra decoration slot, level 2 decoration slot, which we could be used to place a level 4 Wirebug Whisper and a level 1 Wirebug Whisper on the extra handicraft jewel that we are not going to be using. So that being said, I'll be seeing you goddamn gorgeous and beautiful people in the next one. Have a beautiful day. Remember that no one has told you today that you're a gorgeous and beautiful person. You are indeed a gorgeous and beautiful person. Have a beautiful day. And I'll be seeing you goddamn gorgeous, beautiful people. Remember that if no one has told you today that you are a gorgeous, beautiful person, you are indeed a gorgeous, beautiful person. Have a beautiful day, and goodbye.